The Honest Truth with Benito Vergatini. Smile 90.4 FM.
To share how they're getting it right to catalyze a sustainable outcome-led job creation initiative into 1,000 permanent jobs for unemployed youths across our country's most vulnerable communities is the co-founder and director at Shadow Careers, Adjoa Ayivor. Ms. Ayivor, good evening and thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks so much for having me. We're really, really excited to showcase what we do and share some of what we feel makes our movement wonderful.
I look forward to it. What does Shadow Careers do?
So our vision was always to create a pathway for excluded youth who would never, ever have the opportunity to enter the formal workplace. And if you've grown up with parents that work, or you always knew what you wanted to do or what you were going to study, it's not something that you can relate to. But what we wanted to do was go into those households where kids can't afford to study further, they can't get work experience because they have no access to it through the networks around them. They've had no example of what a formal work career looks like. And we wanted to go into those homes and get those undiscovered gems. And it's been such an incredible story over the last 4 years where we have seen these amazing young people. And I do feel that South Africa has the most amazing young people in the world. I may be biased, but we really do. And once they're given the right opportunity in a like-hearted way, we use that word all the time in various ways. We feel that heart underpins all of it. You can give somebody an opportunity, but if you don't understand the support that they need to succeed, if you don't show empathy and understand the background that they come from, they will fail. But it's not because of them, but it's because they have not been given the support that they needed.
Yeah, otherwise you're just essentially ticking a box and hoping for the best, as opposed to what you are and the team are trying to do. 4 years already, that's quite incredible. And I see that there's a wonderful milestone that has been reached and no doubt celebrated, 1,000th job created, and this with your 55th class of graduates.
It was, for lack of a better word, absolutely magical. So we talk quite often about our success being linked to an ecosystem of like-hearted people that believed in us when so many people thought that what we wanted to do was crazy. How can you bring in people from a challenged background with no work experience, go through 3 months of a role readiness program and get them into an international call center environment? I think people thought that we were crazy, but we have celebrated 1,000 lives that have gone into permanent careers. And that is really because of our belief in the young person and our belief in the fact that the status quo needed to change. The South African government has spent lots of money around job creation and skills development, but we really feel that how it's done needs to change. It needs to be outcome and demands driven. And that's what we've done. We never bring in anybody if there's not a partner at the end that says, I'm going to take this person. We handhold our young people through the 3 months. We focus on building up their confidence because we are a world of people that have faced many challenges, and these young people have had it harder than most. So we spend 4 weeks working on the self. But what that does, when they graduate into our employing partners' businesses, they thrive. And the stories are absolutely incredible. Today was really special because we had one of the young people from our first group, so Shadow Group 1, who came and spoke at this graduation. So 54 groups later, this young person is still in the organization where we placed him, and he's thriving. And if you think of the fact that ordinarily people would have said that he can't do it because he doesn't have the experience. And he has proven many times over that he can do it.
And it just underscores what opportunity and support can do for people taking advantage of it and really running with it. It's beautiful. Adjoa Ayivor, co-founder and director at Shadow Careers, joining us in conversation this evening, reflecting upon the work that they've been doing for the past 4 years. This week, an incredible milestone was reached with their 55th graduate class. They've also created 1,000 permanent jobs to date. Adjoa, what is impact sourcing?
So impact sourcing, the way we look at it in the truest and purest form, is creating that pathway for people that have never, ever had the opportunity to have formal work employment before. So we look at a number of criteria. So the DTIC has what they provide as criteria for excluded youth. And that includes nobody in the household. So the young person must represent a household where no one earns more than 6,000 Rand, or they need to come from a quintile 1, 2, or 3 school. And I didn't even know what that was before we started, but it really is a no-fee paying school where they have limited to no resources. And how that plays out in our space is that 18 to 19% of the students who come into our course have never put on a computer before. And that blows my mind when you think that there are kids in primary school who are coding. And then the other criteria we look at is that they are a social grant recipient. And the last thing is, so that's the 3. So some sort of social grant recipient, so either social grant or child grant, or they come from a household where less than 6,000 Rand is earned, or they come from a quintile 1, 2, or 3 school. And then we add our own benchmark, which is that they should never have had formal employment. So if you look at the stats and the research, apparently if somebody has 12 months of full-time formal work experience, they will never be unemployed again at their choice. So it's so important to give young people quality work experience and really provide that pathway for people who would have never, ever had that opportunity.
Adjoa, the pathway that you have created, that ecosystem that is so integral to how you do things, how you create this sustainable employment at Shadow Careers and the type of employment that you do create, do you think it's one of the factors that would potentially set Shadow Careers apart from other work readiness programs?
So we have a phrase that we use where we say that it is created for the industry, by the industry. So myself and my co-founders, Franco and Noel, our head of operations, Nate, our incredible career facilitators, career creators, they all come from the GBS sector. We all come from the GBS sector. So we intimately understand what the requirements are for a young person who's going to enter this environment. And that's been part of our challenge. So we are non-accredited role readiness program that prioritizes continuous improvement. We are regularly speaking to our graduates who have been working, to our partners, to try and understand how we can improve on our course to make sure that this young person is going to succeed when we place them. So because we understand that, we make sure that over the 12 weeks, they have all that they need to succeed in this environment.
Has all been set up for the next cohorts of potential graduates who will be joining one of your 3 career creation centers across the country?
It is, so we are regularly recruiting. We are so blessed to have partners who engage with us on a regular basis, who step in and assist us when we need support in various ways. So we are a funded program. So we really rely on government, private sector, aid organizations to assist us in funding the program. So we are all set in that we have millions of young people who are waiting for an opportunity. We have a team of career creators. So even though we have various titles in the organization, we say that we are all career creators who really just want to create sustainable opportunities for South African youth. And we are waiting and willing for organizations to partner with us so that they can facilitate our growth. So at the moment, we are in Mitchell's Plain in Cape Town and in Kingsmead in the CBD in Durban and in Umhlanga. But we know that there is so much opportunity for growth because there's so much need. And we always use the word ecosystem quite intentionally because we wholeheartedly know that we cannot do this alone. We need private sector, we need communities, we need our amazing young people to really share this vision that unemployment in this country, specifically youth unemployment, can be eradicated if we collectively work together to eliminate it.
And yes, to the next 1,000 jobs that you will create at Shadow Careers. Adjoa, where could our listeners find out a bit more?
So we're on all major platforms. So on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. We also have a website, which is www.shadowcareers.co. So no ZA, no com, just co. And please engage with us. Tell people about us. We're in Mitchell's Plain, and sometimes I think that what we do sounds too good to be true. I think that if I was an outsider, I would also think that you can't be this passionate about this. It can't be this incredible, but it really, really is. And if you come out to Mitchell's Plain to visit us, or if you're in Durban, we can arrange for you to go see one of our sites there. And once you meet these young people, and because we have 12 classrooms now, you can always meet young people in various stages of the 12-week program, and you can see and feel the transformation. You can see and feel the passion. So please connect with us. Please share our story. And if you know people that are interested in supporting such an initiative, please connect us. And to the next 1,000 and 10,000 and 100,000 and millions of jobs that we can collectively create together.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shadowcareers.co. And as Adjoa had mentioned, if you are part of an organization that is so keen to be a part of this journey, to be a part of this ecosystem, as Adjoa had described, please do reach out. Shadowcareers.co.co. Adjoa Ayivor, she's the co-founder and director at Shadow Careers. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thanks so much for having me and for having us. You really have brought on board 1,000 incredible lives that have been changed and the lives that we're going to change in the future. So thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure to